Hey guys, Moses Sports here, and today I'm bringing you my 2020 NFL Mock Draft Part 2. This will consist of all 32 first round picks, and there will be no trading, so it's pick from where you are. So, without further ado, let's get started. With the first overall pick, the Cincinnati Bengals select quarterback Joe Burrow out of LSU. I think the Bengals will go with Joe Burrow. He is the number one overall pick in my mind, and in mostly everyone else's mind. If they trade the pick, well, that they better get something good out of it. So I suggest the Bengals will select Joe Burrow first overall in this year's draft. With the second overall pick, the Washington Redskins select edge rusher Chase Young out of Ohio State. Chase Young is the best player available over Joe Burrow and everyone else. But, of course, Joe Burrow is going to go first overall. So, I have the Washington Redskins selecting Chase Young to get their defense into better shape. So, in my mind, Chase Young is the second overall pick. With the third overall pick, the Detroit Lions select Jeffrey Okudah, cornerback out of Ohio State. The one thing the Detroit Lions need is defensive back, and this guy is the best guy available for the Detroit Lions. And there's no way that the Lions are going to pick someone else. If they do pick Tua, like many people are suggesting the Lions are going to do, that's just going to be horrible because they already got a franchise quarterback in Matthew Stafford. And if they are not sure of Matthew Stafford anymore, then simply draft a quarterback in the later rounds, such as Jalen Hurts or Jordan Love, someone like that. So I believe Jeffrey Okudah is the best fit for the Lions in the third overall pick. With the fourth overall pick, the New York Giants select Tristan Wirfs, tackle out of Iowa. Originally, I had them taking Jerry Jeudy, but now I think offensive lineman is one of the things that the New York Giants need to work on, and this guy's the best one available. So, there's no brainer for me. Tackle Tristan Wirfs will be a New York Giant. With the fifth overall pick, the Miami Dolphins select Tua Tagovailoa, quarterback out of Alabama. Now, Tua, he will not fall from the first 5 picks. One of the first 5 picks will be used for Tua. Whether it's the Redskins, Lions, Giants, it will be the 5th overall pick where Tua is selected, as they are the ones that need a quarterback besides the Bengals with the top 5 picks. So I believe Tua will be drafted to Miami. With the 6th overall pick, the Los Angeles Chargers select Jedrick Wills, tackle out of Alabama. Jedrick Wills is one of the top offensive linemen in this draft as well. I know some people are going for Herbert with this pick, but I think Herbert is a late first round, early second round pick. So I suggest going with an offensive lineman to be sure of protecting whoever's going to be in the backfield this year. With the 7th overall pick, the Carolina Panthers select Derrick Brown, defensive tackle out of Auburn. I have them selecting Derrick Brown, who can be a very good run stopper in the NFL, I believe. And the Panthers are the ones that are going to give him that opportunity, because I think he could be a top NFL defensive lineman if he gets selected by the correct team, and I think the Panthers are the correct team for Derrick Brown. With the 8th overall pick, the Arizona Cardinals select Isaiah Simmons, linebacker, Clemson. Now, I originally had Christian Fulton selected to the Cardinals with the 8th overall pick, but I changed my mind due to the fact that Isaiah Simmons is an actually better prospect than Christian Fulton. So the Cardinals could start working on their defense, especially since they got the DeAndre Hopkins trade and all these guys. They got Kyler Murray. I think they're going to get ready for a playoff push, and they just need to start working on defense now. With the 9th overall pick, the Jacksonville Jaguars select CeeDee Lamb, wide receiver out of Oklahoma. Now, CeeDee Lamb is one of the top receivers in this draft, and I believe he is the top receiver in this draft. So With this pick, I think CeeDee Lamb fits in Jacksonville, and that will be a perfect spot for him to land. With the 10th overall pick, the Cleveland Browns select Mekhi Becton, tackle out of Louisville. Originally, I had Tristan Wirfs going to the Browns, but he's off the board, so I had to go with another offensive lineman. And I'm going to say Mekhi Becton is the guy they need to take with the 10th overall pick because he's just a very good offensive lineman out of Louisville. So, with no doubt in my mind, I'm going to select Mekhi Becton to the Cleveland Browns. With the 11th overall pick, the New York Jets select Jerry Jeudy, wide receiver out of Alabama. I think Jerry Jeudy will be in New York. It's either going to be the Giants or the Jets. And I think the Jets are the most likely team to select a wide receiver as the Giants needed an offensive lineman. Now, originally I had Jerry Jeudy selected by the Giants, but now I have him selected by the Jets due to the fact that the Giants don't want, in my mind, will not go for him. They will go for Tristan Wirfs instead. So, without further ado, let's get on to the next pick. With the 12th overall pick, the Las Vegas Raiders select Henry Ruggs III, wide receiver out of Alabama. Originally had Ruggs selected with the 11th overall pick by the Jets. As I stated, they need wide receivers. But originally, I had the Raiders selecting Isaiah Simmons due to the fact that he fell to the 12th overall pick. But now, since he's off the board, I'm going to go with Henry Ruggs because the one thing the Raiders need besides defensive players is receivers. And they need receivers for Derek Carr to throw to. So, I think Henry Ruggs will be selected with this pick by the Las Vegas Raiders. With the 13th overall pick, the San Francisco 49ers select Kristian Fulton, cornerback out of LSU. Now, originally, the Colts had this pick, and originally I had the Colts selecting Javon Kinlaw, defensive tackle out of South Carolina. But now that San Francisco has the pick, I think the San Francisco 49ers will go corner in the first round with their first round. So, Kristian Fulton is a very good defensive back. Definitely. Not Jeffrey Okudah, but he's still one of the top defensive backs in my board. With the 14th overall pick, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select DeAndre Swift, running back out of Georgia. Now, I think the Buccaneers will select a running back to maybe put up like a San Francisco 49ers kind of running scheme. Like, that was a very good running scheme. And if you have the offensive lineman, you can probably go and be the best running team in the NFL, no matter who's back there. But DeAndre Swift is one of the best running backs in this draft, and I think he'll be selected to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with the 14th overall pick. Originally, I had AJ Peneza, the edge rusher out of Iowa, but I think running back will be a better need for the Buccaneers. With the 15th overall pick, the Denver Broncos select Andrew Thomas, tackle out of Georgia. Now, the Broncos need to protect Drew Lock. Their franchise quarterback needs to be protected. So, I suggest they pick up Andrew Thomas, an offensive lineman out of Georgia. He is very good. And I think the Broncos will need him specifically over even Tristan Wirfs and Mekhi Becton. The 16th overall pick, the Atlanta Falcons select Clavon Chaisson, edge rusher out of LSU. Now, they need to work on their defense, especially since they gave away so many good defensive players, especially Vic Beasley. Clavon Chaisson. Now, Clavon Chaisson, very good edge rusher, not like Vic Beasley, but he's still a very good edge rusher. So I think the Atlanta Falcons will go with Clavon Chaisson with the 16th overall pick. With the 17th overall pick, the Dallas Cowboys select C.J. Henderson, cornerback out of Florida. Originally, I had him taking safety Xavier McKinney, but due to the fact that Xavier McKinney is not as good as C.J. Henderson, I think he'll be selected with the 17th overall pick by the Cowboys to basically replace Byron Jones in that defense and make that defense better than it was last year. Hopefully for the Cowboys, this is the guy for them. I believe that he is. He just has to prove it when he gets to the NFL. With the 18th overall pick, the Miami Dolphins select Xavier McKinney, safety out of Alabama. They got rid of their safety last year. Their first round pick, by the way. In just a few years, the Dolphins just gave him away. So I believe Xavier McKinney is the pick they need to make after they pick their star quarterback. Of course, offensive lineman could be a useful pick, but most of them are off the board already. So I suggest going safety instead because of the gap they got left behind. That was left behind by Minkah Fitzpatrick. With the 19th overall pick, the Las Vegas Raiders select Javon Kinlaw, defensive tackle out of South Carolina. Originally had Laviska Shenault Jr. selected with this pick, but I'm going to go with Javon Kinlaw because they need to improve that defense. And Kinlaw is a very good defensive tackle that could help them in the run stop game. With the 20th overall pick, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Grant Delpit, safety out of LSU. Now, Grant Delpit is one of the top safeties in this draft, and I think he will be drafted in the top 20 picks. And the original pick I had for this was Trayvon Diggs, a family member of Stephon Diggs, who's now in Buffalo. So, I think Diggs is a good corner, but I think Delpit will be selected by the Jaguars. With the 21st overall pick, the Philadelphia Eagles select Patrick Queen, linebacker out of LSU. So, I have Patrick Queen selected with this pick due to the fact he's the top linebacker available, and due to the fact that their original pick I had them picking was CJ Henderson, he's off the board. So Patrick Queen is definitely going to be the guy they're going to go with the 21st overall pick. With the 22nd overall pick, the Minnesota Vikings select Jeff Gladney, cornerback out of TCU. Now, originally the Buffalo Bills had this pick, and I had them picking Jetur Gross-Matos, the edge rusher out of Penn State. But due to the fact that they now gave this to the Vikings for Stephon Diggs, I think that the Vikings should go with cornerback. And this guy's the best cornerback available in the draft right now. So I think this is an obvious pick, and hopefully he can do great things in Minnesota. With the 23rd overall pick, the New England Patriots select Justin Herbert, quarterback out of Oregon. They need to replace Brady. And is Jarrett Stidham the guy? Maybe. What I suggest is bring in Herbert to battle for the starting position. Maybe put Stidham in as a starter, or even Brian Hoyer, who knows. But you put in one of those two quarterbacks, and then you see who is better, Stidham or Herbert. And whoever is going to be the starter, the young one's going to get one out. So the Patriots will have no problem trading him away, either one of those two guys, for something. With the 24th overall pick, the New Orleans Saints select Kenneth Murray, linebacker out of Oklahoma. Originally having taken defensive tackle Neville Gallimore, but I think Murray is a better fit for the New Orleans Saints due to the fact that I think he's just a better prospect than Gallimore, and honestly, this is the guy they should pick. With the 25th overall pick, the Minnesota Vikings select Justin Jefferson, wide receiver out of LSU. Originally, I had him taking Kenneth Murray, but that due to the fact that he was selected with the 24th overall pick for the Saints, I think Justin Jefferson is the best wide receiver available, and I think the Vikings will have to pick him up, especially because of the loss of Stephon Diggs. So, with no doubt in my mind, Justin Jefferson will be selected 25th overall. With the 26th overall pick, the Miami Dolphins select Zach Baun, edge rusher out of Wisconsin. I think that the Dolphins will do very good in this draft if they go edge rusher as well. And it's one of their needs as well. I know they need offensive linemen, but there's still not offensive linemen that I think should be selected in the first round. I don't think any other offensive lineman will be selected in the first round from this point on. You're most likely to see them come off in the second round. So, without no doubt in my mind, Zack Baun will be selected there. I originally had them just taking Julian Okwara with this pick, but I think Baun is a better edge rusher now. With the 27th overall pick, the Seattle Seahawks select Yetur Gross-Matos, edge rusher out of Penn State. Originally, I had him taking wide receiver T. Higgins out of Clemson, but I think Matos has got the talent that the Seattle Seahawks need, especially from the loss of Jadeveon Clowney. We still don't know. He could re-sign to Seattle again, but as far as we know, Yetur Gross-Matos is the best edge rusher available in this draft, currently available. Now, I think the Seattle Seahawks should work defense. Yes. I thought originally a wide receiver could help and maybe put some more offensive weapons for Russell Wilson, but I think defense should be the one they go for, as they have been struggling defensively these past years. With the 28th overall pick, the Baltimore Ravens select AJ Epenesa, edge rusher out of Iowa. Originally, I haven't taken wide receiver Jalen Reagor out of TCU, but I think the edge rusher position is one of the things Baltimore needs, and someone to pressure the quarterback. And I think AJ could actually help out the Ravens in that remark. With the 29th overall pick, the Tennessee Titans select Neville Gallimore, defensive tackle out of Oklahoma. Originally, I had Raekwon Davis selected with this pick, but due to circumstances, I think that Neville will be picked with this pick by the Tennessee Titans due to the fact that the Titans need to work on their defense just like every other team, and I think he's the best defensive tackle available at this time. With the 30th overall pick, the Green Bay Packers select Jalen Reagor, wide receiver out of TCU. Originally, I had them picking Patrick Queen. He's not on the board anymore. So, Jalen Reagor is the guy they're going to be selecting, giving some weapons to Aaron Rodgers. And I think this is going to be a very good season for Aaron Rodgers because he made the NFC Championship last year. He might make another run for an NFC Championship again. And I think you need to put him weapons around so he can do so. With the 31st overall pick, the San Francisco 49ers select Laviska Shenault Jr., wide receiver out of Colorado. Originally, I was taking a cornerback, but that's when they didn't have the 13th overall pick. So now I have them selecting wide receiver, which is another thing they need to work on, as Emmanuel Sanders left in free agency. And I think the 49ers picking Laviska is a very good option for the San Francisco 49ers. This is a very good wide receiver class, and I think Shenault will be a very good wide receiver for Jimmy Garoppolo. With the 32nd overall pick, the Kansas City Chiefs select J.K. Dobbins, running back out of Ohio State. Originally, I had him taking Jonathan Taylor, but due to the circumstances that I think that J.K. Dobbins' draft stock increased, I think he went over Jonathan Taylor, and I think he is now the better running back for the Kansas City Chiefs to select with the 32nd overall pick. There's no doubt in my mind that J.K. Dobbins will be selected with the 32nd overall pick, and that he will be partnered up with Damian Williams in 2020. Thank you guys for watching the videos. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Tweet me video ideas. I'll be responding to some of them, and I might even do some of them and give you a shout out in the video if I do. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time.